The first royal fans to pay tribute to Queen Elizabeth II as she lies in state in Westminster Hall for the next 5 days have been pictured stifling sobs. More than 750,000 people are expected to walk past the Queen's coffin in the coming days, and the emotional outpouring from Britain showed itself within just seconds of the gates opening. People were pictured streaming into Westminster Hall, having queued up for days to be the first people to see the coffin. It is believed some Britons had taken to the queues before the monarch's coffin had even left St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh during the weekend. Queues are stretching for miles through London as people are desperate to pay their respects to the late Queen Elizabeth II. Aerial footage from this afternoon, as the late monarch was being carried from Buckingham Palace in a procession, showed people lining Lambeth Bridge, almost a mile away from Westminster Hall. It is believed the queues are expected to reach around 10 miles long over the coming days. Before the Queen had been laid in state, the line was already stretching towards Bermondsey, roughly 4 miles away. The first royal fans to enter Westminster Hall stifle sobs as they glimpse the Queen's coffin. Image, BBC. Westminster Hall was filled within minutes of the doors opening. Image, BBC. People have been turning out in droves for the opportunity to say a personal farewell ahead of the Queen's funeral on Monday. Doors opened at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, and the Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport is running a live queue tracker to pinpoint the end of the line. It can be viewed at here. At 5:20 p.m., the tracker showed the queue was around 2.9 miles long, stretching as far as London Bridge. To help avoid disappointment, it is understood that entry to the back of the queue may be closed early, although it is too early to estimate when that moment might come. Read more. Meghan and Harry hold hands, under no obligation to follow protocol. Reveal, Britons cut a somber figure as they quietly proceed past the Queen's coffin. Image, BBC. Royal fans had been queuing for days to be the first to pay their respects to the late monarch. Image, BBC. Numbers will be monitored towards the end of the lying in state period, which must be completed by 6:30 a.m. on September 19. To ensure as near as possible that those already waiting are able to complete their visit. Entry to the line will also be paused for a time if the queuing infrastructure, stretching 6.9 miles from Victoria Tower Gardens to Southwark Park, with a further 3 miles within the park itself, reaches capacity. There will be more than 1,000 volunteers, stewards, marshals and police officers on hand at any one time as people brave the wait on the banks of the Thames. This includes 779 professional stewards per shift, assisted by 100 civil service volunteer marshals, 40 adult scouts, and 30 members of the First Aid Nursing Yeomanry charity, as well as Metropolitan Police officers. Don't miss, Harry should have been in uniform with his Queen. End petty protocol. Opinion for crowns to look out for at Queen Elizabeth's funeral. Pictures, reveal, touching moment. William comforts Kate after Queen's lying in state. Reveal, the Queen's coffin is laid in state at Westminster Hall just before 5 p.m. Image, BBC. Trending, the Queen was handed to the care of the nation for a period of lying in state after her family marched in homage behind her coffin as it was carried to Westminster Hall. A gun carriage that had borne the coffins of her mother and father carried the late monarch to Westminster Hall, a procession of pomp and pageantry through the heart of the capital watched by tens of thousands who lined the route. In bright summer sunshine, funeral marches played by military bands added to the solemn mood that left some mourners weeping, while others held up their camera phones to record the historic moment of the procession. King Charles III led the royal family as they walked behind the coffin, draped with a royal standard, adorned with the imperial state crown and pulled on a gun carriage of the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery. Shortly after the arrival of the coffin at Westminster Hall, U.S. President Joe Biden said he had spoken to the King on Wednesday to offer his condolences and shared the great admiration of the American people for the Queen. Read next. Queen Victoria said Crown looked like a pudding that had sat down. Kate, an honourable move as she stays one step behind Prince William. Sarah Ferguson missing from Queen's lying in state as Andrew attends. Aerial images show enormous queue waiting to see Queen Elizabeth II. Emotional Meghan appears to wipe away tears as Queen lying in state.